With deepest sorrow, we announce that our beloved father, Brian Wilson, is no longer with us, his family said in a statement released on Instagram and his official website. We are at a loss for words right now. Please respect our privacy as our family grieves. We know we are sharing our grief with the world. Brian Wilson's life was as shaped by struggle, substance abuse, and mental illness as it was defined by his extraordinary resilience, brilliance, and timeless music that continues to echo across generations. His story is undeniably one of inspiration and perseverance. A child who suffered abuse at the hands of his father, lost hearing in one ear, and later endured the torment of schizoaffective disorder, a condition that caused him to hear voices and spiral into isolation. Yet despite it all, the two-time Grammy Award winner rose to become what the Denver Post once called the Mozart of pop, crafting songs that reflected a world far removed from his own painful reality. In a 2004 interview with the New York Times Magazine, Brian said, "My goal was always to get as close to heaven as I could. That's why I wrote those happy songs." Over the years, his genius was widely acknowledged. Tom Petty once said, "To compare Brian Wilson to Beethoven is not at all far-fetched." In 2001, CNN described him as the creator of the most complex and sophisticated pop music ever written. Music producer Don was once remarked, "Brian captured the simplicity of human emotions in a way that was artistically beautiful and musically intricate." In 2023, Rolling Stone named Brian Wilson among the 200 greatest singers of all time, saying, "Some people are born not just to make music, but to touch souls. But sometimes, the higher an artist flies, the deeper he falls." This is the story of Brian Wilson, who lifted the Beach Boys to the heavens and then vanished into the darkness of his mind. Brian Douglas Wilson was born on June 20th, 1942, in California. From childhood, melodies danced in his head. He could identify notes with perfect pitch, strict discipline from his father, empathy from his mother, but his true comfort was always in music. In 1961, Brian formed the Beach Boys with his brothers Carl and Dennis and cousin Mike Love. Songs like Surfin' USA, I Get Around, and Wouldn't It Be Nice became instant hits. Brian proved to be a genius producer. His harmonies, instrumentation, and vocal layering, they were the dawn of a new musical era. In 1966, Brian created his magnum opus, Pet Sounds, an album still ranked among the greatest ever made, but behind the success was chaos. Brian's mental health began to decline. He began hearing voices, locking himself away, slowly detaching from the world and music he once ruled. The 1970s were a lost decade. Drugs, depression, and self-destruction consumed him. Even worse, those around him began to exploit his fragile state. He was forcibly medicated. His career nearly erased. In the 1990s, Brian began a slow but powerful return. He released solo albums, performed concerts, and reconnected with his fans. Even today, he continued to battle mental illness, but he survived. A legend who triumphed over his own shadows. Brian Wilson wasn't just a musician. He was proof that being a genius is never easy. He was a warrior, fighting darkness while spreading light through his melodies. If you've ever heard God Only Knows, you know how love and pain can be transformed into music. If Brian Wilson's story moved you, please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and tell us in the comments, which Brian Wilson or Beach Boys song touched your heart the most?